Wonder where Ninja Bowler is today.
That guy was great.
Leave it to Bolero to put him 3 lanes away from the match with 1 frame to go. Anything interesting in college football today or no?
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Manchester, New Hampshire, Yankee Lanes. Give me a thumbs up. We had some technical difficulties moving the camera after the women's match. And give me a thumbs up. Let me know if everything is working right. Sounds good to me on my end. But Brian Gaskell here to bring you the finals of the Yankee Lane Senior Open. We are in the final 8. Looks like in front of us we are going to have Bill Webb against Stephen Dale Jr. and Chris Monroy and Chris Forey. And then the other 2 matches off camera, Steve Blanchett and Greg Griebel. And let's see who's up there, Chris Viali and Michael Reali. Bowlers have finished their practice. They are just, I think the practice shots all got scored, so they had to shut the lanes off and restart the matches. Thanks again to Jeff Barden of Yankee Lanes. We had, I don't have a score sheet with all the entries. Let me pull up on Facebook. We've been going crazy trying to get these cameras running. We moved it, see, the women's match was on like 9 and 10. We moved it from 9 and 10 to 17 and 18 for the men's finals, and we couldn't get reconnected for the last half hour. This has been a project just to get back online, so forgive me for not having all the scores and everything ready. We've been running around like crazy for the last half hour trying to get online at all. What I can tell you is we bowled on, it was a 48-foot pattern. Here we go. 48-foot pattern, 26 mils, 5.2 to 1. Again, thank you to Jeff Barden for adding $1,500 to both the senior and the women tournament. Both tournaments ran together. Unfortunately, we only had 9 women show up, so that tournament's already over. That was won by Amanda Broge. If you didn't tune in earlier, I'm going to get Justin to send me some scores I can tell you the cut was plus 133. A little bit higher than expected, but they give you a good amount of oil in the middle, and the track, the track, for those of you who don't know this, Yankee Lanes has synthetic heads and wood back ends with Guardian. So there was plenty of hook in the track, so you could actually miss. If you got far enough left, you actually had some miss room to the right, and the ball would still come back and at least get 9. Obviously, the guys that got strikes are the ones that are still bowling, and the guys that got 9 more often, like me, are here. I got to 113 over. I couldn't get any more than that, but all right. I am going to pull up the scores on Facebook because I don't have a paper copy. We had looks like 47 entries. And the cut to top 12, like I said, was plus 133. That was Chris Forey. The other bowlers that did make the cut were, I'm going to just run them all down even if they're still bowling. Chris Monroy led the tournament with plus 223. Number 2 seed, Stephen Dale Jr., 203. Greg Griebel, plus 196. Chris Viali, plus 188. That was the 4 bye scores. So those guys are all obviously still bowling now. And then in the earlier matches, we had Joe Scianna, Steve Blanchett, Bill Webb, Mark Bouchard, Mike Reale, John Kirker, Russ Mashad, and Chris Forey. And they had an elimination round. And the 4 winners are now bowling the 4 gentlemen that had the byes. So it looks like they are still practicing. I thought they had finished practice, but again, they were having problems getting the lanes restarted. Let me go over the sponsor read while we're on, and then we can concentrate on the bowling once the guys are bowling for score. Thanks to, well, let's start with our host sponsor. Again, Jeff Barden, Yankee Lanes Manchester and Yankee Lanes Keene, obviously. $5,000 this weekend. $1,500 for each tournament today, the senior and the women's, $1,500 each. $2,000 for tomorrow. We are bowling a full field event here also this weekend. Tomorrow's 9 a.m. squad is full because of the qualifying for the Paul Forey Memorial. But there are plenty of openings tonight at 6 and tomorrow at 12:30. If you want to come down and bowl, I will pull up the pattern for that later. I know it's a shorter pattern, 37, 38 feet. But I'll give you the exact specs in a minute after I do the sponsors. The rest of our sponsors, we can. We're good, Bruce. Thank you. Bruce just checking in to make sure I finally got hooked up. We're good. The rest of the sponsors, none of this would be possible without. Thank you to Tony and Suzanne Renaud, Ace Mitchell Bowling Supply, Vinny Grazan, Better Bowling Concepts, Bill Daly, Storm Products, Leanne Hausenberg. They give 2 balls per each event, 1 for raffle and 1 for first score out of the cut. Chris Forey, who's still bowling, Buddy's Pro Shop. $10,000 for the Paul Forey Memorial, $1,500 for annual awards, and $1,000 to the his home event at Nutmeg. Also, Chris Viali, $3,500 for the Cambridge Credit Invitational Point Leader Tournament. Logo Infusion, Kenny Keegan. The champion shirts that you see Steve Dale wearing right now in front of you. Strike FX Pro Shops, John Van Hees and Alex Aguiar and his crew. Turbo Grips, Chris Sand. Also to my boy Bruce Hall, TechVision, that's us. He added money to the 1,000 tournament, which was last month. So we are in NEBA number 1001. We're on the road to the next 1,000. Yankee Lanes, also Jeff Barden again for his tournament Keene. Bullwinkle's Pro Shop, Rich Reynolds. Savage Arms, Al Casper. Callahan's Bowlerama, who added a bunch of money to our 1,000 tournament that they hosted last month. Appreciate them. DJ's Pro Shop, John Zawalik. Many Styles of Bowling, LaRue Malo. Bloomfield Electric, Roger Burrell. GMS Concrete, Clay Schwartz, Dexter Shoes, Paul Sylvia, Chaos Strike Force, Tony Mendiola, Grog Monster Sports, Greg Flamond, East Coast Sports Investors, Jeff Dawson, Ideal Bowling Concepts, Keith Lang, the DJBT Tour, Jeff Purchase, usedbowlingballs.com, Mitchell Pincus, and our most recent addition, Island Bowling Supply, and my old friend Joe Farley. They donate 2 balls for each Sunday live stream to be raffled off. So tomorrow, the title match, if you watch, like, and share the feed of the title match, you'll be entered in a raffle to win 2 bowling balls from compliments of Island Bowling Supply and Peter Hakem and Joe Farley. So, all right, they are done practicing. Perfect timing. We are in scoring for real here. So here's Bill Webb on lane 15 versus Steve Dale. And now these lanes were not re-oiled for the finals. When we have a 1-squad tournament, we do not re-oil for the finals. So these lanes have been bowled on, one entire squad plus 1 match. And the reason why we do that is just for time. I mean, we bowl, when we bowl a full field tournament, the lanes are bowled on for 2 whole squads, and we get through. So you will see the righties, and I think it is all righties left, I believe. Russ was the only lefty in the cut, and I think he got knocked out. So you will see the righties continue to migrate to the left, mostly all concentrated in the middle of the lane. And like I said, with attracted already hooks. So you are going to see people just chasing left. And I'm guessing the pocket's going to be pretty accessible. It's going to be a matter of who carries, because they're just going to get easier as guys get left and there's more friction to the right. So here is Chris Forey on lane 18 after Chris Monroy spared in the first, and he strikes. And now Steve Dale on lane 16, as you can see, playing the left gutter. He strikes. I'll try and keep an eye on the matches up the higher end. It's a little tough angle for me to see, but I'll with only 8, I might be able to pull this off. I'll keep you tuned in onto what's going on with Viali versus Reali and Griebel and Blanchette. But for now, we're going to concentrate on the 2 matches right in front of us. There you go. This is all going to be about carry at this point. Like I said, the pocket's going to be pretty accessible for everybody. Steve Dale with a double. And here goes Chris Forey for his try to double. Waiting on Webb. Yeah, we're going to see some high scores here, I'm pretty sure. Here's Monroy on lane 18. He goes high. There's Webb with a strike. Keep himself within 10. Monroy makes his spare. He's down by 12. Very unique lane surface here in Manchester with, again, synthetic fronts. About the 30-foot splice. You can see the old wood from way back in the day with the Guardian cover on it. And just managing the way your ball comes off that synthetic onto the wood is about the only trick And if you can do that, then you can just do what Webb just did. If you're too far right, it has a tendency to want to read and jump high. But once you move left and stay in that puddle, the concentrated part of the pattern, it's pretty easy to get the ball to just fade back. And okay, so Webb did double, and here's Steve Dale just try and start with the front three, and he rips the rack. Let me try and pull up the pattern for tonight's tournament on my phone. I'll give you guys an idea what's going on here tonight.
So what do you want, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16?
Yeah.
I'm going to look up where the finals were last time.
Okay.
You don't know if you're going to keep it, though.
I think. Sorry, folks. Hold on. No, they told us we can keep the wiring up. Sorry, guys. Dan was just checking with me about leaving the equipment overnight because we're going to try and run the finals in the same lanes tomorrow, so we don't have to redo all the wiring for the modem. Steve Dale went high, left the 36910, made the spare. Yeah, they're just checking with us to make sure we're going to leave the wiring. We get the wiring like up into the ceiling tiles and stuff. It's a lot more work than you want to believe to make it take it down and break it down and set it back up again. So we're just going to leave it overnight for tomorrow's full field tournament. So let me get you, as I was trying to do that before I got interrupted, let me get you the pattern for tonight. 2023 Yankee Lane singles, 37 feet, 29.55 mils, 4.42 to 1. And again, the 9 o'clock squad is currently full, but there are openings at 6 o'clock tonight. And there's a flat 10 for Webb. Just didn't get the ball to face up. Openings at 6 o'clock tonight and at 12:30 tomorrow. 9 a.m. is full. Again, all 64 bowlers that have qualified for the Paul Forey Memorial Bowl at 9 o'clock tomorrow, and there will be an elimination. I think they knocked that down to the top 48 after tomorrow. So those 64 bowlers, just based on their qualifying score in that 9 a.m. squad, and they want them all to bowl at the same time. So most of those spots have been taken up by those guys. But there are plenty of openings tonight and 12:30. All right, Webb makes his spare. And over to the right, Monroy did not double, so Forey has the front four. So Forey's going to open up about a 30-pin lead on Monroy through 4. So Webb currently down 7. Monroy trying to stay alive. He's in a world of hurt if Forey can get up and throw another strike or two. Forey has the front 4, and Monroy has no doubles through 5. Here goes Steve Dale, scrambling the rack for a strike. appreciate everybody hanging out on a Saturday afternoon. I know we don't get on Saturdays most of the time on Sundays, but we do sprinkle in a couple of Saturday events for seniors and non-champs sometimes. So we appreciate everybody hanging out on an oddball time. If we can get everybody to like and share the feed. No prizes today for liking and sharing the feed, but if you could help us out, we appreciate it. Tomorrow, if you like and share the feed of the title match, you will get entered in that raffle for that storm ball from Island Bowling Supply. And a double for Dale, so he increases his lead. All right, here is Forey. Could put the complete hammer on Monroy early here if he could throw another double. Yeah, you can tell he liked that one when we let it go. Four pin for Webb. All right, here goes Forey for the complete hammer. This will put him up 50 plus. Well, I promised you scores. They're coming. Front six for Forey. Excuse me, guys. Okay, I got the little dry throat here, so pardon my cough. Play through the pain, they said. I'm gonna try and do a score check down the high, and I might turn my microphone down for a second, run down there and see what's going on with those two matches so I can give you an update. There's Monroy, 10 back. I'm gonna wait till Webb throws this shot, and then I'm gonna run up the high end and see what's going on so I can give you an update. The Webb down 17. That's going high. See if you get it right early, it can check up on you. Excuse me. Thanks, Chucky. I need that. I'm going to try and bowl 5 more games tonight. That doesn't sound promising, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay, Monroy with a double to keep the dream alive. He's still down 40-something pins. All right, give me a moment. I'm going to run up the high end and check those scores out. Ooh, Dale with the 278. Okay, so up the higher end, Blanchette and Griebel are basically even. It was a 1-pin match when I walked by, so they got a dogfight going on. And then in the other match, Viali is cruising over Mike Reale at this point. He was up close to 50 pins in the 7th frame. So here goes Forey on the front 6. Make that 7. It's a tough spear here for Steve. He's going to need this to stay in the lead. Oh, my God. So let's see math now. That puts him at a 149 through 7. And Webb has 128 through 6 plus a spare. So Dale has a 1-pin lead now through 7 frames. Make that 8. Make that 8 for Chris Forey. That's more like it. He don't know. He's still stunned by that shot in the right lane. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't think he knows what happened. So Blanchett and Griebel, I think they traded doubles since I left there. So that match is probably still a 1-pin match going to the 9th and 10th frame. And I saw Vialli made a spare in his last frame, so I'm assuming he still has a comfortable lead. Monroy's not going to go away without some kind of fight. Obviously, he needs them all and some help from Forey, but he's not going to give up until it's mathematically over, I'm sure. No quitting in that guy. Webb to stay down 1 pin. So we have 148 for Webb. 149 through 7 for Dale. So Dale up 1 pin, both guys on a strike. Monroy to keep any hope alive. He's got it. I mean, Forey just needs, what, 270? Yeah, he just needs 1 mark in the last 2 frames. Forey. Griebel just struck again. I don't remember who was up 1 when I walked by, but they've done nothing but strike since then, so that match is going right down to the last ball, it looks like. Webb doubles to take the lead. And now Dale must match. Uh-oh. All right, so let's see. 8. Monroy has a max score of 246. And Dale rings a 10 to fall behind. Monroy has 246 max. Yeah, well, Forey needs 1 mark. Forey makes this spare, it's over. If he misses this spare and he marks in the 10th, it's still over. So. And he chops it. So, not over yet, folks. So now, I'll repeat myself. Monroy has a max score of 246. Forey has 236 in the 9th. So, if Forey did open again, Monroy could throw them all and win by 1. It's unbelievable. And even when you throw the front 8, you're never locked in. That just goes. That's why it's so hard to win this tournament. One-game matches are very difficult path to navigate, believe me. All right, Mark to win. Oh my God, he went through the. That was an anxious moment, I'm sure. Dale, that ball didn't face up either. He leaves the 4-7. He's going to need some help in the 10th frame now. There's Forey for the spare to win. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm at a bad angle, but I really thought that I had a chance to miss. I mean, I'm standing behind lane 13. I'm kind of like 4 lanes away from there, but and then I saw his mannerism, and I wasn't sure he was going to make it either after even when I thought he missed it. Well, he needs 1 pin to lock this up, and I promise you that is not going to be a problem. But, you know, like I said, the one-game match gauntlet that you have to go through to win these tournaments it's just not easy. It's not easy for anybody except for, like, Alex and Litch, I guess. Because, I mean, you look around, and it's just, there's no freebies out here. These guys are all great bowlers, and there's just not an easy path to win this thing. All right, Steve Dale finishes out at 207. Webb needs any kind of count and mark to be in the 2 teens. So the other matches, I see Griebel is still hanging around, so I believe that means he won, because the loser turns in the score sheet. So I think Griebel beat Blanchett, I believe. I was concentrating on the 4 match. I didn't see the end. And Webb trips out the 10 for a win. So we are going to have, if my Spidey senses are correct here, we're going to have Forey versus Viali, Battle of the Sponsors, and Webb versus Griebel. And Webb keeps it on the lane. That locks that up. So that's 230s for Webb. Monroy is going to be in the 220s, but obviously not enough. And that's going to do it for the round of 8, guys. We're going to sign off, and we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Thanks for tuning in again on Saturday. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you.